Well, now I see what Thomas over there on A Beginner's Guide of Sort series means when he says the intros are spicy. No wonder he has been butchering that Antonio Banderas accent lately. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric and I'll be walking you through all of the amazing champion guides we will have here on the channel. I understand you have already met our other host of the series, A Beginner's Guide of Sorts, Thomas. I apologize for any shenanigans he might get up to. He's British. Now, let's get to business. This is our first champion guide here on the channel. We wanted to make sure we were highlighting two incredible champions that are accessible and can be utilized almost everywhere in the game. We will kick things off with Scyl of the Drakes from the Barbarian faction and Ninja from the Shadowkin faction. Here we can see our two champions team up with just one other champion to take on the Dragon Dungeon. Given their abilities and skills, we can see that they have no problem breezing through these waves of opponents with barely a scratch. That's the way, we like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm just chopped liver, huh?
Now Ironclad. Don't be so emotional. This video is about Scyl and Ninja. Maybe one day you'll get your very own video. I mean, it won't be today, but there's hope. Maybe. We'll just tell him that for now to keep him working. He'll be fine.
Hey man, I heard that.
I know. But you won't do anything about it. Go sit down. Yup. We'll take that silver. Ninja will always come through with the damage thanks to his debuffs and passive. Scyl has a passive as well. Heals. Heals. And more heals. They make a great team.
Gotta say, those stuns and heals come in handy.
Hi! I'm Ninja and no spiders were actually harmed in the making of this video.
That spider is nasty. Let's see how our champions handle the ice golem and his minions. So far so good. This pair is having no problem controlling these waves of opponents. With the stun from Scyl and the freeze from Ninja, the enemy rarely gets a turn, while Scyl does a fantastic job of keeping her team alive and well. Ninja, on the other hand, does a great job of doing the opposite and eliminating everything in his way. The fact they can come into any dungeon and play a vital role in helping the team makes them very valuable champions. This one's getting exciting.
Whoa! That was close. But don't worry. I got them.
Every single dungeon. Same story. Let's see how our pair do with their team against the dreaded Fire Knight. Stuns. Heals. Freezes. Burns. I like this combo. That guy on the left looks familiar. Is that Cousin Armiger? We've seen her in action, now let's take a closer look. Scyl of the Drakes is a magic affinity legendary barbarian. She has a deep and interesting lore in the Raid Shadow Legends world. Definitely worth the read. Feel free to pause and check out the whole thing. Yeah, screw a fourth wall or whatever. We out here. Scyl is a daily log in reward champ. On day 180 everyone receives their Scyl of the Drakes. We'll go over her stats and skills next. You can see here that she is a defense-based champion, meaning her damage will scale off of her defense stat. Here we can see her base level stats when fully leveled and ascended, but without any gear equipped. All very solid stats. Although some would say that 95 speed is rather slow for any champ, let alone a legendary. But she makes do. Fun fact: critical damage is not a stat you want to increase when you have an ally protect skill. Now, let's take a look at her skills. First is Drake's Swiftness. Attacks one time and when booked has a 40% chance of placing a 30% decrease speed debuff for 2 turns. With a nice little 50% when booked chance at decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. I like that. Next up on her A2 is Wingbeat Flurry. Scyl will attack all enemies twice. Each hit has a, when booked, 35% chance of placing a stun for 1 turn. With a nice short cooldown on this skill when booked, she can control waves very well. She can also do a fair amount of damage when built for it. Her A3 is called Phoenix Right and can save you in a pinch. Scyl can revive an fallen ally. They will have 50% of air HP and an ally protection buff for 2 turns. Which means Scyl will absorb some damage when that ally is attacked. And finally her passive ability. Boundless Life. Scyl will heal all of her allies by 10% of their own HP at the start of every turn she takes. And places a 30% increased speed buff for 2 turns on a random ally as well. Looking good Scyl. Must work out. Let's see what her ratings look like according to the player base. Yup. Just like we thought. She's good everywhere.
Oh, well now. Mama like a lot.
I knew a little green would look good. Very nice. Ninja is a Magic Affinity Legendary Shadowkin champion. He was a log and reward champ during a promo he did with the game years back. You received one for logging in for 7 days. He made a comeback recently when players that missed him during his promo could still have a chance at this incredible attack-based champion via a promo code. Larium always nail the graphics and art. Ninja has a very unique cool look in the game. That glow on that arm and bow are really awesome. I just have this little sword and shield. Let's take a look at Ninja's base level stats. His attack and speed are both very solid at 1500 and 100. His defense and HP are not quite great, but you can easily make him work in almost any area of the game. Ninja's first skill. Shatterbolt. Ninja will attack one enemy and when booked has a 60% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Will also fill Ninja's turn meter by 15% when used against bosses. Which can be tricky when speed tuning teams. But not to worry. Ninja's second skill. Hail Burn. Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 75% chance of placing a HP burn for 3 turns. And places a Perfect Veil buff on Ninja for 2 turns. Perfect Veil not only hides Ninja but mitigates damage as well. When Ninja uses Hailburn against bosses, any HP burn debuff will be activated, including any placed by this skill. This skill does an incredible amount of damage against bosses. Cyan Slash is Ninja's third skill and only AoE attack. When booked, Ninja will attack all enemies and have a 100% chance of placing a freeze for 1 turn. When Ninja is attacking a boss, this skill will only attack the boss and not all enemies, but he will ignore 50% of the target's defense. Also, this will decrease the cooldown of the Hailburn skill by 1 turn. Escalation. Ninja's passive ability. This will increase Ninja's attack by 10% and critical damage by 5% up to 100% and 25% each time a single enemy is hit by all 3 of Ninja's skills in a single round. When fighting bosses, this will increase his attack by 20% and critical damage by 10% instead. And I will tell you, this passive can make him hit very hard. The guy is a straight-up boss killer. Good to be out of those dungeons, huh? Gets a little funky in there after a while. Let's go check out the champion tab and see some gear. After you. Now that we've seen them in action, gone over their skills, seen their lore and checked out a few of Scyl's incredible skins, let's take a look at the gear and masteries we have set on these champs. Here we see that we have Scyl in a 4-piece Relentless set that gives her an 18% chance to get an extra turn, which means more heals. Her other set is a 2-piece Divine Speed. This set gives 12% speed and a 15% HP shield for 3 turns. You can also see that Scyl is not in all legendary 6-star gear with Ascension and all the bells and whistles. She is fairly easy to build, which makes her even more valuable to the player base, both free-to-play and spenders. As you can see here, sustainability, speed and accuracy are the main points to focus for Scyl. Keep her alive and taking turns so she can heal and help carry your team. Here we can see the sets again and more easily see how our champions are geared. Sets are very helpful throughout the game, but the overall stats are what actually matter. Keep that in mind when gearing your champs. Now let's take a look at the masteries we have set for our Scyl. Keep in mind that no 2 accounts on Raid are the same. You don't need to just copy others' masteries, builds or play style just because. I have gone for a more supportive mastery setup. Better to help keep teammates alive. Adding 5% more chance to land those stuns can make or break a run at times. Make sure to read and check out all the options and consider how they will affect your play, team synergy, and overall experience in the game. Now that we've seen our girl Scyl, let's go find our boy Ninja. Again, here we see that Ninja is not in any crazy gear set or unattainable build. We have him in the basic accuracy set and a broken glove and boot mix. Remember, stats over sets. At least most of the time. Now, this build is specific for the Sand Devil duo team with Godseeker and Irie. Luckily enough, Ninja is so good that this will work, as we've seen, for almost every other dungeon as well. Yes, he's that good. Being that Ninja is an expert boss killer, we will take the attack tree and head down the left side down to War Master for that extra damage. That blue support tree will give us extra accuracy and help our debuffs last longer. Good combo for him. Accuracy, speed, damage. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more. Leave a comment with a champion you saw here that you might want a guide on. We have plenty. Let's see our boy handle this Sand Devil with Godseeker. I love this. Man, that is so gangster. Now let's see what he can do in faction wars as well. That's a pretty good team there. That Kyoku is something else. What a woman. Thanks for watching our first champion guide. Like and subscribe. What's next?
It's me, Thomas from the Beginner's Guide. Of sorts. That was our little monkey friend. Yeah,